It's not the preacher, not the deacon, but it's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer. Well, it's me, oh Lord, standing in the need.
Hello, my name is Lee Beck, writer and performer of Confessions of a Pulpiteer, a public works improvisational theater company production.
You used to have it, but you sure ain't got it now.
This one-man show with musicians was born of my own experience.
Hallelujah!
All right, sit down. Not only have I lived them, but I've been telling these stories for many years. And whenever I tell them, people say, "Wow, you ought to make a movie. You ought to write a book. You ought to do a play." Well, this is the play. I look through the big bay window of our small two-bedroom house.
I see another couple in there with Mom and Dad. They're rank strangers to me.
Someone said it put a human face on something about which they had a very negative attitude. My parents are converting. It's about fundamentalism when fundamentalism wasn't cool. It's about how life can start one way and go in unexpected directions. I grew up with preachers for my heroes, and I wanted to be just like them.
Each preacher had his own style.
And I did. I became an evangelist for the One Cup Church of Christ, preaching from coast to coast and cover to cover, sometimes 50 nights in a row, mostly in the Bible Belt of the United States. Ordained at the age of 17 by my father through the laying on of hands, I began traveling as a young preacher with a seasoned evangelist, and eventually traveled on my own. Every turn of the wheel takes me further away from my mom and dad and all I've ever known.
There was a lot going on right then. There were city demonstrations going on right there in Tallahassee. Churches were being burned down all around the area. And finally, one of the guys in the booth behind him says, "What we ought to do with that young preacher from California is tar and feather him, run him out of town on a rail." Well, Sir J.P. Bradshaw
Spins around in midair and lands right beside the booth where these gentlemen sit. He points his gnarly finger down at these boys in the booth and says, "Y'all leave that boy alone. Y'all think nothing of sending thousands of dollars to Africa to preach to niggers. Now you leave us alone if we want to go out here in the country and preach to a few of them." This is a piece of Americana that connects with the emergence of the civil rights movement and the religious and political forces of the early 60s, just before they blossom into the major issues of our days. The music certainly resonates. We have a hymn book for you if you can sing, and believe me, you can sing at the top of your lungs, and you might even want to shout hallelujah.
When the roll is called up yonder, I'll be there.
Yes, brothers and sisters, I'm going to be there, and you're going to be there too. On that glorious day when all the sea will give up all
their dead, who will rise up and join the living, and we'll all stand before Jesus.
He's going to be riding a flaming golden throne, his hair blowing in the wind, lightning striking all about, and a host of angels singing. And he's going to sit down there, and he's going to take that great big book of life, brothers and sisters, and he's going to...
This is a piece about a little part of all of us, I think. It's about religious upbringing and indoctrination, the influences that determine the way we live our lives and the way we formulate our own values and our own actions.
I'm running the house. Mom, Dad, I won the dance contest at
School. Well, that's met with a kind of silence and glances at each other by my mom and dad. They seem to be a little bit shocked. I make my decision. Yeah. Dancing is a sin. And I never dance again until I'm 30 years old. I did this play because it seemed to resonate with these times of religious and political fervor. This is my story in relation to all that. It tells the truth. You'll laugh, you'll cry.
Ain't gonna let no